news. We start off straight to the Garden City, where barring any hitch, the Kumasi International Airport would become operational in June 2022. President Akufo-Addo, who is on a 4-day working visit to the Ashanti region, described the progress of work at the airport as impressive. The $124.9 million airport project is now 77% complete.
The second phase of the Kumasi Airport took off in June 2018. It was scheduled to be completed in 24 months, but it was delayed due to the outbreak of COVID-19 pandemic. However, work has picked up with the firm executing the project, contractor construction, poised to hit the finish mark line by the first half of next year. The scope of work include the extension of existing runway pavement from 1.981 meters to 2,320 and the aeronautical ground lightning system. Work on terminal is 88% complete. The air traffic control and the road network is 93% and the apron is 89% and the fire and rescue section is 53% complete. And while in the Ashanti region to inspect development projects, President Akufo-Addo said the Kumasi Airport is in line with government's agenda to expand the aviation industry for economic development. Phase 3 of the Kumasi Airport involves the construction of the air traffic control building, an 11-megawatt substation and a fuel farm. About 8,000 passengers will be processed annually at the Kumasi Airport.
Still in Kumasi, the president Nana Akufo-Addo has paid a courtesy call on the Asante Hene Otumfuo Osei-Tutu at the Menchia Palace as part of a tour of the region. The Asante Hene asked the president to regularly visit the project site to accurately update himself with progress of work.
President Akufo-Addo explained to the Asante Hene that he is in the Ashanti region to express appreciation to the chiefs and people for supporting him win his bid for a second term as president in the 2020 elections. He assured Otumfuo Osei-Tutu that the Ashanti region's show of confidence in him will be appreciated through development projects. He said issues that led to delays in the restart of the Buankra Inland Port project have been resolved and work will soon start on the project.
Amayoko de chin and no tin yesunya hodea eba bicha na mifia meko me bebre maka achire won se tori ye no aso mani pa na djuma aban so suri ye no eno na bima asante me hu sense so na ba ode tuma me woni ato na bantwe ni mani nyina na prekope bichia yi and they do one more day you go spa. I'm saying, Kumasi coin and Sandman coin. You who sir, wo brand me breast of that. See here and say, Yamabu. Salsun and Yama, a war, 1D, 1F, airport, with many coffee, and maybe do some do airports, 77% complete. January, be only be chassis, I test of the airport, Yampa, by June next year. Now, the BR at the one cry delay, Kakraba, who I feel, say, the other things, me farmer, I don't know, so there are several projects. So.
The Asante Hene Otumfuo Osei-Tutu urged President Akufo-Addo to lead the country with courage and leave behind a great legacy.
Sabe kone o mampenyi agogra de nkam tedem ha ngonu ansa nwenwenwen no atwam anso osi da bi ma me nkopɛ no ansa ase ne panso anso se obetu aprose wo mu anu ono ade na so atie no de nani hu osi panyine mobo papa ansa ba bi atie no ye beka de da ne ye ka kyerɛ na wa wu pie se na akɔ no hu se enwono na akɔ hunu ye Baby, so echo ye no, a maware teacher says, I would dear him, who ye, Juma Papa, so na ne nyinaa no enti na waduru ha santima mu de ayukofoɔ yɛ de wɔnhwɛ ne yie no wɔntie ne yie mmom bɛpem ne deɛ nneɛma pii akɔ so papaapa ɛno nti yɛtoa so deɛ ate aka mu biara ɛwɔ gyidie wɔ mu sɛ wobɛyɛ ama yɛn.
As part of his visit to the region, the president will inspect some 1D, 1F projects, senior high schools, and other road projects.
From the Ashanti region, let's come to the capital Accra, where a total of 278 lawyers were on Friday called to the bar, and the Chief Justice, Justice Inin Yeboah, told the newly enrolled lawyers not to be led to instant fame by cutting corners. He said the integrity of the profession must be held at all times, especially with the advent of new technologies.
The General Legal Council annually convenes a formal meeting to enroll and call to the bar candidates who successfully passed the professional law examination organized by the Ghana School of Law after their results were certified. The new lawyers were told to be truthful to their clients, honest with the court, and respect for their colleagues. The Chief Justice, Justice Enin Yeboah, told the lawyers not to be swayed by fame and cut corners to betray the sacred ethics of the legal profession.
The good book in Proverbs 21 verse 1 states, "A good name is better than riches." Please remember this Bible verse as we begin your journey. It will help you to avoid all the temptations and shortcuts that you are likely to encounter along the way. Resolve to be honest at all times. Remember that the Disciplinary Committee of the General Legal Council takes action when complaints are lodged against lawyers.
The Chief Justice, Justice Enin Yeboah, said good lawyers were not the ones who always won cases in court. He admonished the new lawyers to resolve issues and provide solutions to their clients and organization without resorting to unnecessary litigation.
A great lawyer is one who is creative and able to think of reasonable solutions when problems and unique situations arise. Learn to think outside the box. Finally, know that you have today become members of a client-centered public profession and must ensure that at all times you work in the interest of your client, the public good, and the country at large.
This year's event had a virtually impaired person among the 278 lawyers who were called to the bar. Some students who excelled in various legal disciplines were honored.
Let's turn attention to Kintampo, where 5 persons have been arrested by the Bono East Regional Police Command in Kintampo Municipality for allegedly dealing in narcotics. 287 wrapped substances suspected to be Indian hemp were retrieved from the suspects. The Bono East Regional Police Commander, DCOP Moses Asabanga Atibilong, disclosed that intelligence gathered by the police led to the arrest of the 5 at Dawadawa number 2, a suburb of Kintampo. DCOP Atibilong added that the police had also arrested another gang of criminals in Techiman who were dealing in illegal ammunition. Over the 120 pieces of ammunition were retrieved from the suspects. The arrest comes in the wake of a surge in robbery across the country. Moving on, the need to invest in the general well-being of aged persons to enable them to keep contributing to the development of the country took center stage at an event dubbed Aging and Honors. The occasion forms part of initiatives to commemorate this year's celebration of the International Day of Older Persons across the world. Aging and Honors is an initiative aimed at celebrating the lives of older persons in society.
Of the world comes with its own challenges: poor healthcare, improper nutrition, meager pension packages, lack of care, remunerations after retirement are just a few of the challenges. To commemorate this year's edition of International Day of Older Persons, ARC Lifestyle Foundation, a non-governmental organization that cares for the aged in Ghana, with support from the Bank of Ghana, came up with an initiative dubbed Aging and Honors. The aim is to celebrate the lives of older persons in Ghana who contributed to national development when they were in active service. Deliberating on the theme Digital Equity for All Ages, panelists discussed how older persons can move along in an era of digital world, especially with the existence of modern phone applications accompanying cyber fraud and security. The chief executive of ARC Lifestyle Foundation, Mrs. Esteline Osebunsu, emphasized the need to celebrate the contributions of older citizens in the country.
The operational physiology of Africa is growing old is mandatory, but growing is optional. In other words, we have a capacity to assist our older people to have a healthy life.
The former Minister for Gender, Children and Social Protection and Member of Parliament for Aguna West, Honorable Cynthia Mamle Morrison, called for the establishment of homes for older persons where they can be given proper care.
We will also get there. Why we neglect the old, I don't understand. But we have to make it a national issue where we can have homes for elderly people who can just only come for even recreation.
A number of older persons from diverse backgrounds were honored for their services to the development of the country. Some older persons lauded the initiative. ARC Life Foundation, together with its partners, hopes to expand the concept and make it an annual initiative.
Let's change gears and go to Cape Coast, where floods on Friday rendered residents in some communities in Cape Coast homeless. The floods were caused by torrential rains and affected communities including Pedu, Abra New Site and the University of Cape Coast Police Station. The floods brought economic activities to a standstill. Correspondent Kofi Sechi Amapobi joins us on the phone to tell us what has been happening a day after the rains. Kofi, good to have you.
Plus, good afternoon.
What's the situation in the central region now after the rains, especially the affected areas?
Yes, in the Cape Coast metropolis, I can say that it is a bright, sunny day now. And for me, it is serving as a relief for the people who lost their wares through the flood. So some of them are, making sure that their things get better. But all that the residents are saying is that, as I reported yesterday, the water is now gradually going down. The residue is going down. But all that they are saying is that they are expecting that authorities who came there yesterday to promise that indeed they are going to pull down structures and also open the drains will do so. But the challenge now is that, that at the local government level, it is the assemblies that drives, the economy, that drives development. For now, I can say that Cape Coast don't have a mayor, or the president nominee was not even given the nod. Last week, Ernest Arthur, who happens to be the president's nominee, went to the assembly for voting. He could not secure the 2/3 of the voting, which means that he has to come for a second round. Out of the 65 votes, he pulled 34, representing 52.2%. So indeed, development at the local level is led by the assembly, as I'm saying. So enforcement definitely will be led by the assembly. So if they don't even have a chief executive, all that some residents are telling me is that by next week, they hope that the president nominee or whoever is chosen will be given the nod so that they can come and start doing some of the development projects. And also to make sure that they pull down structures that are built on waterways. But gradually things are moving, especially the residual water, where I visited at Pedu, the Abra New Site, the police station area. But when you come to the buffer, where the whole water comes to store, that place is still muddy, that place is still tense. And believe you me, people are not happy about what is happening in the Cape Coast metropolis because the drains are choked and they are calling for the expansion of some gutters because some of the gutters are too small. And now, as I said, it's a bright, sunny Saturday, and people are even making sure that the things that got wet at least become better. Theophilus.
A fair idea as to what properties were lost during the floods?
Well, as for the properties, it worth millions of Ghana cedis. If you go to a place like the Norcans Hotel, where it is Norcans Hotel in Cape Coast is behind the DVLA. Okay. It is one of the hotels that normally receive visitors when you come to Cape Coast. For them, all their things, their mattresses, everything within their installation was submerged by the water. We go to a place where even the whole room, the level of the water, the flood water, is about to the window level. So you can imagine the extent of damage that has caused, the ravage, the havoc that this flood has caused. So I can tell you that though the NADMO officials were on site, properties worth millions of Ghana cedis were lost. Definitely, they are now counting their losses, and they are hopeful that the authorities will come to their aid.
Kofi, talking about authorities, so far, have you seen the NADBO or the security services in terms of responding to the needs of the persons affected or the community? Have you seen anything like that?
Yes. Yesterday, when we went to the site to see what is happening there, the NADMO officials were there. The fire service were also on hand. So definitely the authorities were there, assuring them that indeed they are going to do something about the flood situation. So authorities have responded positively to the calls of those who were affected, but we are yet to see the kind of assistance that will be given to the affected people within the Cape Coast and its catchment area. So we'll definitely keep updating our viewers, and then of course we'll keep the authorities on their feet so that whatever is needful for them to do to make sure that they give these people a sigh of relief in terms of even giving them mattresses or whatever, or even some compensation. We'll follow it up, and then we'll keep our viewers updated.
Great, but before I let you go, do you anticipate, because in your earlier submissions you said it is a bright sunny day, but do you anticipate more rains in the region, and what measures do you think authorities can employ to really mitigate this one?
Theophilus, I think you and I know that even the meteorological department has come out to warn us that there will be torrential rains throughout Ghana. So definitely Cape Coast or Central region for that matter is not exceptional. So indeed, the rains may come. But that is why people are asking questions that where are the authorities? Where are the people who sold land that hitherto their marshy areas to people? So all these questions are being asked. That where are the city authorities, the engineers? Who sold the land to them? Why is it that people are building on waterways? Who make sure that they enforce the law? So that all these things will be nipped in the bud. Because definitely the rains will come again. And like the proverbial, we go back and then we give to listeners whatever has been transpired. So I believe that we need more action, especially from the city authorities, so that they can pull down structures, they can pull down walls, and they can also open the drains. Some people also are in the usual mood of even keeping sand at the roadsides, which is also not helping at all. And so I believe that moving on, the city authorities must liaise with the police to make sure that they enforce strict laws to pull down structures on waterways. Because as for the rains, has been assured or has been said by the meteorological department, there will be more rains. And once there are torrential rains, this havoc will happen when people build on waterways.
Thank you very much, Kofi, and keep us updated as you've said in the update. And anyone that get closer to you, please just advise them that they also must play a part, because if you wait for government to silt your own gutters for you when it rains, government will not be there, and it's your property and valuables that will get destroyed. Let's move on and come back to Accra, where an 11-member board for the Governing Council of the Institute of Local Government Studies to coordinate, execute, and enhance local governance and policies has been inaugurated. Professor Kwesi Kwafu Adakwa is the new chairman of the Governing Council.
to the Governing Council of the Institute of Local Government Studies. Low level of local participation in governance, lack of coordination, weakness in internal structures, lack of modern techniques and resources, among others, in one way or the other, face the country's local authorities. The Institute has charge over deepening local governance, decentralization, and capacity building for regional coordinating councils, assembly members, metropolitan, municipal, and district assembly members. With government's release of names of new MMDCEs, the Institute has a role to produce competent leaders capable of solving and meeting today's demands.
A district assembly shall A. exercise political and administrative authority in their district, promote local economic development, and provide guidance, give direction, and supervise other administrative authorities in their district as may be prescribed by law.
The chairman of the Governing Council of the Institute of Local Government Studies, Professor Kwesi Kwafu Adakwa, said they will establish new partnerships and leverage on their existing efforts.
The achievement of Ghana's development agenda, and for that matter, sustainable development, largely depends on our local government structures and systems. And for this reason, it is important for government and all stakeholders to support this important role of the institution in our current dispensation. We will jealously guide this role by becoming increasingly more efficient in the courses and programs we place on offer.
The members are Dr. Nicholas Awatri, Dr. Nana Mensah Abraba, Mr. Kokro Amankwa, Mrs. Evelyn Arthur, Dr. Stephen Nana Atuatha, Professor Imoru Brima, Mr. Akwesi Dako Boating, and Reverend Mrs. Eva Asaribediako.
So government is working hard to mobilize the needed resources to enable the whole teaching hospital to operate as such, says the Minister for Health, Mr. Kweku Agyemang-Manu. Since the hospital was upgraded to a teaching hospital in 2019, it is yet to receive the projected investment to enable it function as such. When he inaugurated the 11-member board of the hospital, the health minister commended the hospital for what he described as its tremendous management of COVID-19. A report by Sarah Ofori.
The whole teaching hospital, popularly known as Trafalgar, is the main referral facility in the Volta region. It was upgraded to serve the University of Health and Allied Sciences. The 300-bed facility has been in operation for the past 20 years, rendering care to thousands of patients from Ghana and neighboring countries. Yet, the facility in its current state does not befit its status as a regional hospital. When he inaugurated the hospital's board of directors, the Minister for Health, Mr. Kweku Agyemang-Manu, tasked the members to put the internally generated funds at the hospital to uses that will reflect its status.
Unfortunately, the anticipated investments that we were expecting to be injected into the regional hospital, which was converted into the teaching hospital, hasn't materialized yet. But we are working so hard to find the resources to see how best we can equip the newly converted regional hospital to a teaching hospital to a befitting teaching hospital for that part of the country. The whole nation expresses its thanks to you with your support in fighting the COVID battle.
The 11-member board is chaired by the executive chairman of the Holy Trinity Medical Center and former chief executive of the Kolebu Teaching Hospital, Dr. Felix Anya.
Our teaching hospital is closest to Togo and in Nigeria. We believe that one of the key things we've been trying to do is to get international accreditation with medical tourism. And by that, we will have by this angle, we have to have killed two birds with one stone, have efficient service, and then be able to bring in much needed money for development.
Other Other members of the board include Dr. John Tampuri, the acting chief executive of the Whole Teaching Hospital, Dr. Sylvia Diganas, consultant obstetrician gynecologist and public health physician, Mr. Felix Nyante, the registrar of the Nursing and Midwifery Council, Mr. Abdul Raul, the registrar, Pharmacy Council, and Mr. Enex Geu, a legal practitioner. The board is expected to ensure progress and accountability at the facility. Cyril Furi, GBC News, Accra.
The former special representative of the Secretary General and head of the United Nations Office for West Africa and the Sahel, Dr. Mohamed Ibn Chambers, has advised the youth to take advantage of the Africa Continental Free Trade Area and build on their entrepreneurship skills to create more jobs and businesses to address the higher levels of unemployment on the continent. Speaking at the MTN Post Transformation Africa Conference in Accra, Dr. Chambers said the synergies of the youth should be galvanized and directed into productive sectors of the economy.
The Young Professionals and Youth Coalition is a youth-oriented non-governmental organization which aims at networking, transforming and engaging the Ghanaian youth on the importance of leadership and entrepreneurship. At 12th edition of the conference, speakers challenged the youth to avail themselves and participate in programs that will help them build their future at all levels. The former special representative of the Secretary General and head of the United Nations Office for West Africa and the Sahel, Dr. Mohamed Ibn Chambers, in a message to participants, said with over 200 million people aged between 15 and 24, Africa stands a chance of harnessing an enormous active human resource to transform the continent into the elite of countries for the common good. Media personality Mr. Seth Kwame Boateng told participants to believe in the power of words and speak positively into their lives and their future.
Words are powerful, so I spoke. What are you saying to yourself today? You are here. What dreams do you have? Do you have any dreams? Where do you want to be tomorrow? Do you know it's possible?
The president and founder of Young Professional and Youth Coalition, Mr. Andy Osei Okra, in an interview with the GBC News, said Africa has the youngest population in the world and this must be complemented with an investment in economic and social development factors.
Africa can only be transformed when young people are given position, or not position, but participation, including them in the participation of our governance and our whole architecture. So that is what we are talking about. So young people here are here to develop their skills in terms of leadership, in terms of entrepreneurial abilities. That is why you can see all of them here.
The Young Professional and Youth Coalition has in the last 12 years put together programs and activities to develop and build a network of leading young professionals towards national development. The one-day conference brought together 10 African countries and a number of resource persons who took participants through various topics.
Beekeeping for honey and what is said to be a very profitable venture inspired by international demand for the two products. To underscore this, the Council for Scientific and Industrial Research, CSIR, indicates it is prepared to mop up bee products as alternative to the open market. Napoleon Atikutu reports.
This is a field station of the CSIR Forestry Research Institute of Ghana. Location is Yeku, near Winneba, where the Council for Scientific and Industrial Research, CSIR, conducts field training in beekeeping for honey and wards. These hive products are derived as clay material and in maximum quantities once bees are raised and cared for in most professional manner. CSIR advertises its training programs in various fields to equip those who subscribe to the lessons with employable skills. So in my foreground are the images of bee hunters, those who are clad in protective gears that were designed by researchers at the Council for Scientific and Industrial Research, funding provided by Global Affairs Canada for the modernization of agriculture in Ghana. Here at Yeku near Winneba in the Central Region are trainees in beekeeping. Naomi Apia is the commercial officer of CSIR Forestry Research Institute of Ghana, based in Kumasi.
There is a lot of adulterated honey on the market, which is of concern to the public. But with Forestry Research Institute being a purely research-based institute, you can rest assured that the honey we produce is of very high quality. We are not only interested in producing honey and marketing it, but we also want to empower the youth. In fact, now the general public to be engaged in sustainable livelihood products.
The chief trainer on this occasion happened to be the Deputy Director General of CSIR Ghana, Professor Paul Bosu. He said there are about 20,000 species of bees worldwide, but only 8 to 10 of them are the ones which produce honey. Additionally, a bee colony could consist of 10,000 to 60,000 bees. In trying to move bees from their natural habitat, trainees were introduced to different types of structures for bee hiving. Another phase of the training is how to get into the tangle of wild bees whilst prospecting for honey. Now, the encounter between bee hunters or prospectors for honey and the bees is a very interesting one. It is a double-edged sword in the sense that the bees in that encounter discharge their stings into the bodies of their victims, and that represents a damage to the bees. But the stings that are lodged in the bodies of their victims then becomes a toxic matter for those who were attacked. Trainers and trainees shared their perspectives on the training.
Unlike the normal notion that if a bee just sees you, a bee will like to sting you, I've learned that if you've not had any form of, if you've not initiated any form of attack, or you've not been any form of threat to them, then they wouldn't sting you. So I've learned a lot from the course, and I would actually like to venture in the beekeeping industry.
When I came, I realized that what I think about it is different from what I'm learning right now. So I think it's the only thing might be that the finance, but since I was told that it's not that costly, you can be able to do the beekeeping.
Many people don't know that beyond the honey, you can also make money from the wax. And then there are other products. At the beginning, a lot of people just focus on the honey and maybe the wax. But there's far more to it, as we emphasized, when it comes to the pollination of crops.
The layman will naturally dive for cover upon sighting beehives to avoid stinging. But the scientists have devised a formula to tame bees so that prospectors conduct that business with minimal danger. Now, the production and commercialization of honey are thought to be very important sources of livelihoods income, and therefore prospectors are advised to dare warrior bees by following the prescriptions of entomologists. Entomology is a branch of science that deals with insects. Napoleon Atukito from a spot near Winneba in the Central Region.
So from that particular one, we move straight to Agogo, where the paramount chief of Asante, Achim Agogo, and the traditional council plus farmers will celebrate their second planting festival next month. The festival, which was held in October last year, is being moved forward to run from November 11 to 14 this year. A grand derby has taken place to herald the event.
For about 6 decades, plantain farming has remained the backbone of the people of Agogo. So in 2020, the Omahene of the Agogo traditional area, Nana Ikuoku Sapon, introduced a plantain festival to celebrate the hard-working plantain farmers in the area and also to offer employment opportunities to their youth, who otherwise would have trooped to the cities in search of non-existing jobs. The plantain produced in Agogo is currently being exported to neighboring West African countries such as Burkina Faso, Benin, Cote d'Ivoire, Togo and Mali. Agogo's plantain has contributed immensely towards the government's flagship initiative, Planting for Food, which has led to the government to introduce a program dubbed GGAP, Ghana Commercial Agriculture Program, a World Bank program to address farming activities in the area. The program is also a collaboration between farmers from Agogo and their counterparts from Colombia to step up agribusiness. The Asante Achim North Municipal Director of Agriculture, Mr. Eric Jumo, said recently 126 million metric tons of plantain was exported abroad, earning 254 billion old Ghana cedis in total.
As at last week, we got here 126 million metric tons. And a call a abusi. It will be one. A 254 billion Ghana cedis. I just said, Ulamwa, say, Obika say, Ghana, and they can be a 200 billion. They say, but I go board here, if we want to be here.
Their plantain farming has earned them some awards. These include the overall Best Plantain Farmer in 1988, awarded to Nana Ikuoku Sapon, 2020 Female Best Farmer Award, 2018 District's Best Farmer Award, 2020 Ashanti Regional Best Farmer Award, among others. The Queen Mother of the Plantain Farmers Association and other farmers shared some achievements and aspirations.
Nana yawa ma ya tikua ya kenya hubo mwa ebe 500. Asa amei, omu nyina yawa kuyafo, ya bebu nkwa. Nana ya nyina ya kuya de show ni monyama ya mema tayechire, ya hinfu tayechire. Sense ya juma no wunti, asoja 4 year, a prosti 4 year, lawyer 4 year, doctor 4 year, a juma na yese.
Mama ya kuya kusafo. Zoli kofama. Au kufa bodia. Kwa nyama kuma, ana msoma ni manu nana.
The Omahene of the Agogo traditional area, Nana Kwame Ikuoku Sapon, launched the 2021 Plantain Festival.
Plantain Festival, every day, 10 days. November 12 to 14.
The farmers are appealing to government for support of One Farm Wonder to improve on their yield.
It is the oldest children's hospital in Ghana. The Princess Marie Louis Children's Hospital in Accra is in dire need of support to continue to deliver quality service and remain one of the best specialized hospitals for children. The September bonds from some Rotary clubs in Ghana have responded to the distress call from the Children's Hospital and presented the facility with some support.
In line with SDG 3, which focuses on quality health, the September bonds in some Rotary clubs in Ghana presented some support to the hospital. They donated cleaning supplies, baby cots, baby diapers, and sanitary pads, among others, to the hospital. The head of clinical services at the Princess Marie Louise Children's Hospital, Dr. Margaret Nazer, thanked members for their support and appealed to corporate institutions to come to their aid. A member of the September bonds, Nanahima Kunedu Ansa, said the donation drive is to ensure that children in the hospital have a reason to smile and to help them recover fully soon. She said Rotary is a service organization with the aim of changing and impacting lives. The hospital is a Ghana Health Service facility. Its foundation stone was laid in 1926. The over 90-year-old Princess Marie Louise Children's Hospital was named after the granddaughter of Queen Victoria. It solely provides care for children, and annually 50,000 children receive treatment there. The facility is in critical need of renovation, detergents and toiletries to do its work better.
Akuse's female prison in the eastern region has received assorted items to help them get by with the daily running of the facility. The inmates were also given some skills training to prepare them for life outside the prison walls.
Currently, there are 10 inmates at the Akuse female prison. Although they receive funding from government, the prison still depends to a large extent on the benevolence of other institutions to operate daily. Knowing of the facility's daily struggles, the September Bonds of the Rotary Club of Accra Airport City teamed up with the Rotary Club of Accra Airport City and Amnesty International Ghana to support the inmates of the prisons. They donated freezer, bar soap, detergent, among other consumables to the inmates. The assistant supervisor at the Akuse female prison, DSP Rejoice Ajakpa, thanked the club and its members for the support. She appealed for the construction of training centers to enable the inmates learn some practical skills while incarcerated. A member of the September Bonds of the Rotary Club of Accra Airport City and a past president of the club, Madam Anita Sobre, said Rotary is a service organization and therefore lends support to communities with a greater picture of changing lives. Members of the club also gave the inmates a training session in soap making. The inmates in return put on display some of their crafted products.
News return shortly after this break. Please stay.
Good morning.
It's a good morning, and we serve you breakfast.
Not just any breakfast.
Sizzling helping.
A la carte. And there's much more on offer on GTV Breakfast.
So what's your pleasure than Votras here at that time of the morning?
You want it served buffet style, complimentary breakfast? On-site restaurant?
Or room service?
We've got you covered.
From Monday to Friday at 6 a.m.
With a trusted team.
So never skip breakfast.
GTV Breakfast.